The United States Consular to Ghana, France Sides, says visa processing would resume next week. It says that this comes after almost a month of non-visa processing due to a technical glitch at Washington, which has affected all United States embassies worldwide. Now, the consular again allayed fears that the breakdown was due to cyber attacks.
This was what you might call a catastrophic hardware failure that started on June 9th. And we haven't been able to print almost any visas at all since June 9th. I'm hoping that we're at the very tail end of this situation. I think that starting tomorrow, Wednesday the 24th, more posts will go back online and be able to get what we call the biometric clearances. It has to do with the fingerprints, that we use.
The U.S. experienced similar glitch in July 2014, but the consulate says this year's experience is different.
It had to do with multiple small problems, you might say, you might say software glitches, and also last time it dealt with issues like the ground to satellite link and the satellite to ground link. Those are issues that we always have.
He explained people who had applied for visas after June 9 would have to reapply.
The electronic visa application forms that applicants fill out, if they fill them out after June 9th, they're not coming to us. So we can't do an interview. Suppose somebody has an appointment for an interview today, and they filled out their application after June 9th. There's a very good chance that we won't have their application, so we need to reschedule their interview for another time because there's nothing we can do.
In cases of emergency, is there a bypass? Is there a possibility in cases of emergency for people to get visas?
Yes, there is. The Bureau of Consular Affairs has given us a standard operating procedure to follow in emergency cases, and in fact, thankfully there's only been one emergency case. It wasn't a humanitarian emergency. It was a YALI fellow. YALI, is President Barack Obama's signature program for Young African Leaders Initiative.
For me, it looks a bit different from what I think about when a situation is referred to as an emergency. And what other situations apart from that which this fellow had got a chance to go through the emergency would be allowed during this period?
Generally humanitarian situations, and those tend to be medical emergencies. So if there were a case where a Ghanaian national was having a medical emergency and it couldn't be treated in Ghana and they had to be evacuated to the U.S. to one of the top clinics in the U.S., let's say, in order to save a life, that would be a case of an extremely urgent or humanitarian emergency. It's really discretionary.
22 countries so far have resumed partial visa processing with hopes of Ghana joining soon. The breakdown has affected over 50,000 visa processing done a day by U.S. embassies around the globe. The consular allayed fears the glitch is as a result of a cyber attack. The U.S. has been in the news recently over cyber attacks, the biggest being the breach in government's data, compromising over 18 million personal data of former and current employees.